Whoa. Okay, that changed my whole day. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday with the Fellas, the special Friday mix that we always have every Friday. And I'm your host, Sonja, creator and producer, but not producer no more. Let me start out giving a big shout out to B.A. B. Strilla, the Lions only one A cheek, three toes host all day. He is the one who just revamped our show. Thank you so much, B. That was amazing.
I'm trying different stuff. I
Listen,
gotta be fresh.
it I was not expecting it, and when I tell you, because that makes your day go from meh to okay, it's Friday. So thank
Right.
you
Yeah.
so much, B. Love you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and also shout out to Pink Fan Fur, the real hostess, and I mean real REEL, the and stuff like that. Shout out to her. But let me introduce the panel to some and reintroduce to others. We are joined tonight by my brother from another mother, Mike, just a tip, Tipton, the host of the Tipping Point Show. Good evening to you, Tip. Thanks for joining us tonight. You guys saw him on Wednesday. Also, NFC South brother, but it's all love. James JTrain Martin, good evening. And I've already told y'all about the strongly talented One A Cheek Three Toes host and the producer behind everything, B Strilla from the D Tweezy. All right, guys. And what's up, Monkey and Yinzer? I see you guys coming on. You guys make sure you share this live. I was so caught up in the show coming on, I forgot to even share the live. So I'm going to start our first talking point and then I will share that. Lots of NFL and college news this week. Because we have so much NFL news to talk about, let me talk about some college news first. Week 4 coming up for college. Big storylines: Auburn and Oklahoma in the top 25 SEC matchup. Number 22 Auburn, who are now undefeated for now, 3-0, will face number 11 Oklahoma, who are also undefeated. This is the homecoming for Auburn quarterback Jackson Arnold, who spent 2 seasons at Oklahoma. And Oklahoma's John Mateer is a Heisman contender, making his rank as number 2 nationally in total offense. Guys, what are your thoughts on that game? That's a big game coming up here. Don't all speak at once.
That's what we think.
I'll go. I like Mateer. I think Mateer with Oklahoma has a lot of moxie. The kid played in some big moments in the first couple of games that they had. And Oklahoma is just pretty tough. They had a rising season last season, and they look even better. They look like they're expounding upon that this season, and so they're going to be likely a playoff team in my book. And the kid Mateer looks like a Heisman hopeful. I wouldn't say favorite, but definitely a hopeful. And I picked them to win this game. I think they're going to take Auburn out.
What are your thoughts, Tip?
I mean, I kind of mirror the same thing, right? Like, also, I tend to lean towards Oklahoma because my mom was from Oklahoma and she was always like a big Sooner fan. So anytime the Sooners are playing, I'm always like, all right, even though I'm from Texas, I'll give them a little bit of love. But like, I've seen the way that they've played, and I don't want to say like that they're like one of the like I don't think it's too far stretched to say that they're one of the best teams in the SEC, right? Like I thought people had a lot of expectations for UT, and I don't think Texas is going to be where everyone thinks they should be. Like the fact they struggled with UTEP really shows you something with them, right? Like they should have blown that team out. They were a 45-point favorite. They win by what, 10 points? Like,
yeah, that was crazy.
You can't do that. Where I feel like Oklahoma, if Oklahoma were to have played UTEP, they probably would have covered that 45-point spread. Like Oklahoma just seems dominant on both sides of the field, and that's kind of what you want. Like that's what you want to see, especially this early in the season.
Yeah, B, you tend to agree with that?
Yeah, I like Oklahoma in this game too. I mean, I watched Michigan against him, and yeah, man, he's the truth. He's the truth. He's playing really good right now, and I mean, well, I know we're leaving Auburn kind of totally out of this whole conversation.
Yeah,
Looks like all of us are like in Oklahoma, but Auburn's not a bad team either. So we got to give them credit. But Oklahoma's favored by 6.5, so I think they'll. I actually think they might be a 10-point favorite. So to me, think
All
it can win
right.
by 10.
I actually agree too. The consensus is big here. Yenza says, D, y'all get starstruck or something. Speak the F up. Whatever, Yenza. Let's move on to the next game. The other big game, Florida versus Miami. Number 4, another undefeated team, Miami 3-0. Host struggling Florida. They are 1-2 right now, guys. The Hurricanes are looking to continue their strong start to the season, while the Gators are coming off of a 5-turnover game. That was ugly, y'all. Carson Beck, you guys remember him from UGA. He's now in the South. And I mean, Miami, that's still a shocker to me to equivalate him with being quarterback in Miami. But he's been highly efficient, leading the nation with a 79.3 completion rate. What are you guys' thoughts on that game?
I mean, I think Miami is going to dominate this game, right? Like we've seen Florida and they're not good. Like the fact they lost to USF, right? Like, I mean, that says everything you need. And if you're one of the people that believes in like the transitive property, Miami beat USF by 39 points, I want to say. Like they dominated.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always fun because it's going to be like one of those rivalry games. Like we know it's a Florida rivalry game, but it just feels like this isn't even going to be a fun game. Like it feels like Miami's just going to walk right over the Florida Gators. And I'm going to watch it because I've always got a little bit of love for the U, but man, like it's probably not going to be a fun game.
I don't know, Tip. You said that
You're an
the
SEC.
USF got whipped by Miami, and the opposite for Florida. But just like Miami, like the movie back in the '90s, Any Given Sunday. I don't, or except they're not playing on Sunday; they're playing on Saturday. But with that said, I think Florida might play a little closer. I mean, give credit. Look, LSU had hard times, even though they were struggling. They were dominant on defense. Their offense wasn't all that great, and they've been having some issues all season with their offense. But Florida's front seven is not they're not underrated. They're actually pretty. Some of those guys are going to be playing in the NFL at the next level. So if they can get pressure on Carson Beck, it might be a closer game, and I think they may. They may. And Carson Beck, I've seen him in Georgia. He can play when he wants to play, but he also has a tendency like to get a little streaky as well. And so I think it's going to be a little closer, but I'm going to lean like you. I'm going to go with Miami and pick them because Miami's dominant, but I don't think it's going to be a dominant game. And I think the coach is going to curb those. I mean, interceptions. LSU's defense is a lot better than what it was last year, and they just dominate. And the guy, I think he just gave up at the end of the game. I mean, three of those interceptions I watched the game were like real interceptions, and a couple of them were just like, wow, he just let it go, And they trying to win the game.
5 is a lot. B, what do you think?
I think Florida's going to see Miami and do this.
Yeah, I mean, is there like this is the Gators? Like, is it too early to press the panic button on them?
No, it's about the right time.
Yeah, because they get eliminated real quick. Like, it's not like the NFL. Like, okay, it's only week 2 or 3. Those early weeks set the tone. What you think, Tip? I see you nodding. Yes.
I agree, right? Like, it's bad enough you get a 2-loss team in the college football playoff now. Like, we all know Notre Dame, they're going to get in because, sure, you have 2 losses, but they're 2 good-looking losses, if you want to call it that way, and then they can win the rest of this week schedule that they have. But for Florida, like, I can't see them getting 3 losses and being a call like in the playoff. Like I just can't see it happening at all. And like I got to check out what the remainder of their schedule is. But it like I know they got Texas after this, so it could be legitimately 4 losses. And man, like again, this is why I hate preseason rankings because everyone came in here thinking that Florida was going to be all right, and like having DJ Lagway and like all these like it's not working out for him. Like this is going to be a year you can just punt on Florida.
What you think, JTrain? Is there any comeback for this team, or is pretty much just a wrap?
I don't know. I mean, some of these teams in SEC, like the big bad SEC, I love SEC, and I pride myself on speaking on SEC. But it doesn't look all that hot this year as far as like a full dominant. They kind of look a little cupcake-ish this year, and so I might give Florida a little, give them a little leeway. Trust me, I'm by no means a Florida fan. I'm just trying to be objective here, and I think they may have an opportunity to bounce back a little bit. But yeah, the coach's job is on the line, so I think they're going to play for him and try to play a little bit better than what they had because it wasn't a dominant score. The score didn't. It wasn't indicative of how bad the game looked. They still were close. 2010, the last game they played. So I think they have opportunities. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I think they're going to play it close.
Okay, everybody pretty much agree with that. All right, let's talk about the next.
It'll be close.
It's not going to be close.
No.
Yeah.
That's just James. That's just James trying to make his LSU team.
He wants for it to be good because then it makes that LSU win look better.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of like looking better, Illinois versus Indiana. This is the second time in their team's history that both of them are actually ranked to be able to face off number 9 Illinois, who are also undefeated 3-0, and Indiana, number 19, are both looking to prove themselves in the Big Ten showdown. Now that's going to be all eyes on that game because that's, like they said, that's one of those games that does not even happen that often.
Yeah,
Illinois is a pretty good team. Obviously, they're ranking at number 9, but Indiana, man, and I know the teams they played aren't exactly the highlights of college football, but at the same time, they destroyed these teams. I mean, just destroyed them, and that's what you're supposed to do to teams that are lesser than you are. And seeing that means they're standing on business right now. And I do think they're going to give Illinois a hard time. And I think they're going to win this game. I think Illinois is not going to expect this Indiana team. I don't think they're going to expect them at all.
You're definitely going to be prepared.
Yeah,
like more prepared. It's nothing like an underdog. Like that people that you come in automatically assuming you're going to win this game because you're ranked higher or you've watched film with the other team, and it just doesn't always pan out that way, right, guys?
Right.
All right, let's talk about your team. You had something, Tip?
Yeah, what I was gonna say, like, as far as Indiana goes, like, I get where they are, like how they are, but like even last year, whenever they made it to the college football playoff, like it's not like they played a bunch of really awesome teams, right? Like they were, and then they got bounced whenever they finally played someone that was worthwhile. So my whole thing is like, okay, you can get fat on Old Dominion and McNeese State and Indiana State and all these people, but I mean, you're finally playing up to some competition, like. And it's hard for me to be like, okay, they're an underdog when they're the 19th ranked team in the country.
Yeah.
And I got the Fighting Illini. I got them winning this game. I just think they look really good this year. And Indiana was good last year, like you said. They had good defense until they came up against Ohio State. And Ohio State just gave them the business. They put them right in their place. And I think the Fighting Illini, Illinois is going to do the same thing.
It's great to have a great defense whenever your first 3 games are against Old Dominion, McNeese State, and Indiana State. Like it's real easy to get fat on that. You should be shutting them out. You're a Big Ten team.
Well, you act like Illinois played some tough teams too. They played Western Illinois. Woo!
Hey,
Duke.
That's the home.
Come on, Duke is not a football school; it's a basketball school. Let's be real,
right?
Western Michigan.
I don't even roll with them. That's how much I'm out of that.
Cupcake schedule, just like Indiana. The difference is with Indiana, they destroyed their opponents. Let's see. They played Old Dominion. Well, they had trouble with Old Dominion, but Old Dominion gives everybody trouble for some reason. They still lose. Kennesaw State.
ODU. Oh, that's here in Georgia.
6-9, and then they beat Indiana State, which is their in-state rival, 73-0. So, I mean, it could be closer than the spread indicates. I could tell you that.
B.
What?
It's a no.
It's a no. What?
You don't believe it? I thought JTrain was saying something. I was like, is he saying that it's a no?
That's definitely no. Yeah, I mean, Old Dominion. I mean, you're right. Both teams. We'll see how both teams do when they play. We might have to put a little wager on this one.
What's up, Tommy?
All All right. Let's move on to your team, B. Michigan versus Nebraska. Unbeaten Nebraska, 3-0, looking to end a 9-year losing streak against top 25 teams when they host the number 21 Michigan, who are 2-1.
Yeah. In order for Nebraska to get some recognition, because they are a pretty good team. Keith has talked about this, Keith Engel, on his college show, and in our shows, he's talking about how Nebraska. This is a game that they need to prove themselves. They played Houston. How many guys did they played here? They played Houston and beat the Tar Nations out of them. Let's see. Yeah, they played. They beat Cincinnati 20-17.
Wow.
And they beat Akron 68-0. Who don't beat Akron 68-0? And Houston, the Baptist. I don't know if I would be so eager to beat the crap out of Baptist schools. But anyway, 59-7, they beat them.
Let's not take no sympathy. Look how UGA did TCU, and that was a Christian school.
Yeah. So Michigan will be a test for them. I think that Michigan coming off their big win last week against Central Michigan, 63-3. They're supposed to go in there and spank that behind, and that's what they did. I want to see if Bryce Underwood, if he's going to be the guy in this game again. He needs to perform. This is actually a game that me and Keith kind of agreed that they might lose. Michigan, that is, because Nebraska is a good team. We'll see, though. We'll see. Like I said, Nebraska's played some cupcake teams too, but we'll see. I do think that it's going to be a close game too, as well. It's Big Ten, Nebraska. Nebraska's always tough. It doesn't make a difference what conference they're in anymore.
You guys, what you guys think about the Huskers?
Tip.
You out there by them, not far from them.
How close you think El Paso, Texas is to Nebraska? Like that?
El Paso, different part of Texas. Yeah, it's not like just regular Texas. It's Mexico, baby.
I'm thinking about it. Maybe I am closer to Nebraska than I am to Houston, because I am closer to Kansas City than I am to Houston. So maybe there's something there, but maybe you're right. Maybe I am close to them, but there's like 4 states between us. Nonetheless, I don't know, man. Like,
well, you're closer than we are. We're all on the East Coast, so that's what I meant.
She means you're west. I mean, we know it's Midwest, but you're west, sir.
You're Central Time, buddy.
Central Time.
I'm Mountain Time. I'm not even
Mountain Time. There you go, Mountain Time. Yeah. That's right. You're Mountain Time.
Lying.
I mean, I feel like Nebraska over the last 20 plus years has been a team that everyone's like, man, this might be the year that they can like get over the hump. This could be it. And it seems like they always let us down. And that's not me like hating on Nebraska fans or anything like that. It's just that's the space that Nebraska's been occupying for quite some time, right? So until I can see it, it's hard for me to believe it. And we've seen Michigan be super successful recently, right? Now, granted, new coach, new all this and that, but it like I will always take history and things like that before I do anything. And Nebraska's recent history ain't something that I would write home. I think their last national championship was about the same time as the Cowboys' last championship, right? Like it kind of feels that way.
95, yeah, I think.
Yeah,
it was 97, wasn't it?
No, I think
what year did
Tommy Frazier? They won back to back, I think. Tommy Frazier was it 94, 95?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and because Florida won 96, I think. Yeah, with Danny Warfel.
I do think that I might, like, now that I'm thinking it out, like talking it out, I think I might actually be closer to Nebraska than I am to the other side of Texas. So I got to like try to figure this out right now.
Yeah, I told you. See, I mean, I know a little bit.
Like 5 states anyway, right there.
I know a little bit about geography. All right, well, we soon need to move on from the Sooners and from Nebraska and from all these college teams. Let's talk about some injuries real quick that have gone down. South Carolina's quarterback, Lenore Sellers, went down with a suspected concussion last week. So he's questionable for their number 23 matchup against Missouri. Arch Manning, y'all always been talking about him, ready to get him into the league. The Texas quarterback has been struggling, and this has been a big topic of discussion. Even Joe Klatt weighed in on this, talking about he's not playing thorough, and he's also playing through an injury, but he's just off. Like his first 3 games, he's just been off. JTrain, I want to get your opinion on this because this is the projected creme de la creme landing spot for Mr. Manning when he comes into the league. Is that the Saints have shown some interest?
Stop. That's straight up gossip because that means the Saints got to be last. So there's a couple teams, and I'm gonna tell you right now, sis, that
I promise you, it just asking.
I'm gonna tell you right now that the Panthers and the Saints have swapped spots in the rankings.
Oh,
so the Panthers are last right now, and so if anybody's gonna pick Arch, it may. I mean, but nobody's picking Arch. Let me get that straight.
Right.
First, I said this before.
He fallen Arch.
Yes, straight up flat-footed, because that's how he's playing right now, and I just think that everybody needs to pump the brakes on Arch because he just because he has that last name doesn't mean he plays like those guys. Look, Peyton Manning was the creme de la creme in Tennessee, but he couldn't win the big games. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was his knock. He went to Indianapolis. He had a terrible, okay rookie season, but he threw a whole bunch of interceptions, and it took time for him to grow, continue to be who he is. I think everybody should just pump the brakes and allow this kid to be him. Stop doing the commercials because you're not there yet. They've had him on the commercials on the first game. So I think he really needs to just focus on football and focus on trying to win the next game because he played pretty bad against that team. What team? Who was they played?
UTEP.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, UTEP. And for UTEP, that's a win. Mm-hmm. That's actually a win, playing that close to Texas. And that's not good. That's not. I'm pretty sure the investors and the alumni and everybody else, boosters, are probably like, "What the F was that?" Like Yin just says, F apostrophe CK.
And thank you, Yinzer is one of our frequent guests. He has an invite to the living room at any time because he shows a lot of etiquette. Thank you so much for that. What's up, C915? Yinzer knows about the profanity, and I appreciate that he uses the extra measures to censor himself, to type those extra characters to make sure that the comments don't pop up. That is awesome, Yinzer. You are all right with me.
So I looked it up on the map.
Mm-hmm.
El Paso to the other side, to get to the Louisiana border, 14 hours and 21-minute drive.
Okay.
El Paso to Lincoln, Nebraska, 15 hours on the dot. So there's 40 minutes between the two of them.
But guess what? You can make up 40 minutes with good traffic.
Oh, no, I know that. And I got a fast car, so I mean,
he's just saying it's 6-1, half dozen another is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they're close.
On top of that, you're really going to cost a flat top because all those states that you're going to pass to get to Nebraska are plains. So there's no mountains really at all to speak about. So
we saw Tip's Happy Nuts commercial with him driving his car. I've seen it with the top off. Maybe it's not about Happy Nuts. Maybe he's talking about cleaning the car. His little sponsor out there.
Yeah, I was just driving around topless. Is what I do.
He does all these commercials.
And bottomless.
Right? All right. So Colorado is getting a live buffalo mascot. Deanna ran out, y'all. Deanna got them a real mascot, Ralphie the 7th. So I don't know where the other Ralphies are coming from, but this Ralphie is large and in charge and alive. He's going to be coming out this weekend against their game versus Wyoming. Talk about the Wild Wild West. So kudos to him. Let's move over to our favorite topic, guys. The NFL.
I don't know how you could passe over that. I mean,
I do.
This guy's bringing out a wild animal. Dan Campbell wants to bring out a lion, an actual lion.
Oh my God.
Do you know how wrong that is, even to bring a bison out there or a buffalo out there? Oh my God!
Well, that's not what's wrong, D. That's not what's wrong. What's wrong is
where did number 6 go? I mean, did he go to Ted Montana's grill? I mean, was he skewered? I mean, what happened to him? Man?
So I did some research here. Ralphie the Sixth retired on August 26th.
Yeah, he retired all right. He retired all right. Somebody's enjoying their bison burgers right now. Somebody's enjoying a bison burger.
Yeah, I never saw a live bison on those games. Have you guys seen these bison?
Exactly, sis. Exactly.
It's out where they belong, though.
Yeah. Oh, give me a home where the buffaloes roam. That's where they been.
Buffaloes will charge you behind. That's
the thing. Like, so I think I've seen like multiple times a live buffalo for like their mascot, right? Just like Texas has Bevo and like all that. I always felt like that was a normal thing for them.
Yeah. Speaking of Buffaloes, great way to segue into our NFL talk. The Buffalo Bills, in my Lil Wayne voice, I don't tip, I pay bills. Call me Buffalo. With myself there. It's one of my favorite lyrics.
So go and get your money, little duffel bag, boy.
So the Buffalo Bills looked like they were not going to pull this win out. I was concerned. Miami, you know, it's always those rivalries. The fans came to swim, okay? And that game was super tight at the very end. I don't even think they hit the point spread. And I actually watched so it was on Prime last night. It was already going when I got home. So I was able to start it. I love how they ask you, do you want to watch live or do you want to watch, you know, with key plays and all that stuff? Well, for me, I want to watch live and I stay off of social media and stuff so that I don't see the score. I don't get no alerts, none of that stuff anymore. And so super excited that the Bills pull it up. I mean, Josh Allen is the man with the plan. I mean, the big plays last night, but it ended up being a bigger score than what people thought. Because at first, you know, it was really just a score. They, at the end, looks like they just pretty much, I know they're not the same monkey, but they're cousins, okay?
Monkey, they both taste delicious.
Monkey is a rancher. Monkey is a rancher, and he wants everyone to know it. So what you guys think about the game last night? I mean, A-Chain was off the chain. And don't worry, one of the reporters was able to do a dig on Tyreek Hill towards the end as well.
You know what? I want to talk about that because I saw that coming back from commercial.
I knew it.
Like they just played music and they come back from commercial. And the first thing they do is like, Tyreek Hill has been in the news recently due to domestic violence disputes and this and that. Like it wasn't even like welcome back to the game. It was Tyreek Hill's in trouble. And I'm like, that's a weird way to come back, like welcome fans back to the game.
She couldn't wait. And it's 8 different instances with his estranged wife. But I mean, it feels like deja vu. This feels like we had the same conversation last year. Seriously. I'm just like, you're either going to leave him or you're not at this point. 8 times is a lot. And I'm saying that as a female.
And my thing comes down to this is like a habit, right? I feel like we've gone at least every year that Tyreek Hill's been in Miami and a couple of years in Kansas City where it's been something where he's in the news for something stupid, right? Like, and it's normally something of his fault. And for me, it's just like, when does the upside of having Tyreek Hill become too much of a burden, right? Because he ain't the dude that he was whenever Miami was scoring 70 points on Denver. Like he's slowed down. He's not getting the targets. I think Al Michael said yesterday in like the fourth quarter, Tyreek Hill's having a big game. He's got 5 receptions for 46 yards.
I heard it and I was like, is that big?
Yeah. That just shows you what the Miami Dolphins offense has become over the last couple of years. Like they're in trouble. The Giants can go 0-3, and at least you know the Giants have a future with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors and like all that, right? The Dolphins are 0-3, and you got like, oh, what the hell are we going to do for the future? Because you got a ton of money tied up in Tua. You got a ton of money tied up in Tyreek Hill. You're going to have to pay Jalen Waddle, who's definitely not living up to the standard.
He's waddled out, honey.
He had a good game last year.
The Waddle is done. That was their seventh. That was their 7th straight game for the AFC East rival, and this is their 7th time beating them. They have the streak. Josh Allen had a lot of yards, 213. He blew my fantasy out the water just from that game. 3 tutties, and he also had a rushing touchdown, making him the fastest player in NFL history. Y'all, I got to tell y'all that to reach 300 career total touchdowns. So kudos to him. Give us the applause sound effect, B, if you got that up here. Josh Allen again. 3 minutes.
Now, I will say that Miami
Yeah.
played a decent game. That's like you said, it was tight, sis. I think Miami might turn the table a little bit. I think that might be one of their harder games that they're going to play all year. But I mean, they could break even here. I
Tua
mean,
got to
that
stay
they played a
healthy.
really good
Tua
game
got
last
to
night.
stay healthy. Tua
JTrain
has
with
to
the
stay
positivity.
healthy.
But I would say every team has to stay healthy because it looks like injuries, like you about to segue into that, injuries are hitting everybody. So
It's
I would
early
say
too.
they all have to stay. Yeah.
That is
But
poor training before the season starts. Poor conditioning.
Well, and I'll say this: like, if you go back the last couple of years, the Miami Dolphins have lost 14 out of their last 17 games against teams that are 500 or better. Like they don't know how to play well against these teams. I mean, you've got basically a whole season's worth of playing against teams that are good, and you lost 14 games. Like, that's all the sample size we need. Like, this is not a good team at all. And like, sure, they could turn it around, but best case scenario for the Miami Dolphins is what, 8 wins?
Yeah,
If that.
500 probably. Strilla, what were you going to say? I saw you nodding a little bit earlier there.
Well, one thing that we have to talk about Buffalo too. Buffalo is giving a whopping 6.2 yards per carry against the opposition. That run defense has to be shored up by the playoffs, or they're not going to make it through the playoffs. Somebody's just going to keep running the ball on them. And Miami had that plan, and they went away from it in that game. And I didn't understand that whole situation. I'm like, why would you run away? You're running really well in between the tackles, and you're killing them, but I don't understand why they went away from it. But yeah, 6.2, that's the worst rush defense in the league right now.
Ooh,
so they got to shore that up. I bet they might be 3-0. They're getting away with it right now, but they get up against a team that has the same offense and a better defense and two great, a great running back. It's going to be over for them. So
I mean, they balanced on James Cook a lot. I mean, he was outstanding. He is the first player. He's, speaking of another record, get the applause button ready, B. First player to rush for over 100 yards against the Dolphins in 36 games. Congratulations, James Cook.
Yeah,
that's because
Buffalo
most
game
quarterbacks
is the problem.
What's up,
The run defense is the problem.
Run defense is the problem. But the Dolphins had a lot of miscue. They struggled. They looked solid, and then at the end, it's like they ran out of gas. Costly penalties, y'all. This is every game where there's a potential to win. How do you get a late game roughing the punter penalty when defensive tack, the dude's name is Zach Sealer, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extended the Bills' drive. Like, that was crucial to them getting the ball back and possibly staying in the game. You run it to the kicker. It's a wrap at this point. Run into the punter, what have you.
What's he supposed to do, right? Like he blows up the long snapper. He's going for the ball. He just doesn't reach it in time, and then the punter falls right on top of him. Like, what's he supposed to do? Like, that's what you're supposed to do in football. He can't, like, I'm falling. Let me stop in midair and move over to the side real quick so the punter's got a nice landing zone. Like, he's playing football. So for me, it's like that was such a ticky-tack call. Maybe you get running into the punter, but it shouldn't have been roughing the punter. And that changed the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, that plus the big Bills defensive play by Terrell Bernard, that interception from Tua made Tua look like the Tua we remembered, and that was it for the victory. Total yards, this is what makes you know that the game was super competitive. What you say, B?
Tua turn it over.
Yeah, turnover Tua Tagovailoa, practice his name all this time just for that. Total yards, 360 for the Bills, 276 for the Fins, 203 passing yards for the Bills, 146 for the Fins, and so on and so forth. There was one interception by the Fins, none by the Bills. This game was the picture perfect game of competition, competitiveness, and it looked like a really good discipline game. The Bills were only penalized 35 yards, and they got 3 penalties. That's pretty good. The Fins got 6 penalties for 57 yards. So, like I said, good, clean game, but looks like, kind of like kryptonite to Superman. at the end of the day when it goes down with the Bills marching on for that victory. Other games, I want to just run through the scores for people who've been possibly living under a rock from last Sunday since we last met. The Rams beat the Titans 33-19. Chicago Bears got literally declawed and demauled by the Lions. I mean, what a game. The score was almost reversed, 52-21. Browns got mollywopped by the Ravens, 41-17. I mean, these high offensive, they're covering the point spread and then some. 49ers and Saints, that game was very close. My condolences, JTrain. Very close, less than a touchdown for the final win, 26-21. Very odd score there. Patriots getting it done over the Fins from last week, 33-27. Bengals and Jaguars, matchup of the Cats. Bengals getting it done. However, costly injury we'll talk about in just a moment in that game. Cardinals and Panthers. Panthers tried to rally back. Bryce tried to get it done. Another 5-point game, less than a touchdown, 27-22. The heartbreak continues for my Panthers. Broncos heartbreaker. Sean Payton takes it home with a 1-point deficit to the Indianapolis Colts, 29-28. Cowboys in another beautiful game. That game was exciting to the end. 40-37 overtime. Cowboys lassoing the Giants. They brought a big enough lasso. Overtime in an NFC East matchup. And the Steelers-Seahawks game, I don't even think the Steelers showed up. Where was Aaron Rodgers? 31-17, while the Houston Texans lost their own heartbreaker to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Monday Night Football, 20-19. Time just ran out. I watched that game. Time just ran out. And so, guys, brief comments over some of those games here that I ran through.
The Dallas Cowboys still terrify me. I don't think they're a good team. I think they just, you struggle against the Giants that way, and I get it. That's Russell Wilson's bread and butter, but the Dallas Cowboys look real suspect to me. I thought they'd be a fringe playoff team, but if they keep playing like that, if they struggle against the Bears, who just got the you-know-what kicked out of them, 52-20, if the Cowboys struggle against that team, I am going to have a meltdown.
We got to have you back on when it happens, Tim. We're going to save a spot. Tip will be back for sure, guys. He's going to be a regular to take the hits like all the rest of us do.
Next week I can't. I have a soccer game next Friday.
Oh, don't worry. You can call in on location. Call in from your car.
Pre-tape you.
Seconds, because we got some games coming up. Now, did anybody else have any comments before I talk about these injuries that just wrapped in? Strilla, JTrain, Strilla, I know you're celebrating, so you know.
I'm gonna we've had this show when we do Wednesday show, and I was kind of heated about the whole offensive defensive thing that was being the narrative that was set for the Lions. Well, you can suck it, okay, because it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
All right. They put up 52 points on a team. I mean, yeah, Chicago's not playing their best football.
Yeah,
Granted.
they were painting nails on the side.
But it was like a college game. You're supposed to beat
the usually poking the bear is the problem, but somebody poked the lion.
Yeah. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Okay, well, we'll see, because we'll talk about those upcoming games. JTrain, any comments on the Saints game versus the 49ers?
Nah, I mean, I like Spencer Rattler. I think he continues to get better, and I think even Robert Salah said this guy's gonna be a star. I think so too. I think he's got a lot of talent and had an opportunity to get back to the game. I think our offensive line has injuries on it right now, and that was a big problem. That's why he got sacked at the last bit. But if we have protection and you give it to him, give him the protection that he needs, man, he's going to put us in a position to make it competitive, at least for us. And we have been. So, I mean, I like what we did against them, and we just didn't win the game. Got to finish it.
Yeah, you guys look solid against them. Speaking of not solid, and I'm actually sad about this. I mean, I'm sad of any player, but the Bengals are my AFC favorite teams. A lot of people know I've been rolling with them for about, I don't know, 13 years now. No particular reason why I like them. I just do. Well, Joe Burrow, after getting all these billions of dollars, is now out indefinitely after suffering a grade 3 turf toe injury that has required surgery. So they put all that money into the big three, the front three. I don't even say the whole O line for the Bengals. This is going to be costly because now you got to figure out who's going to be your big, number two. And I mean, I know the verdicts are out as far as who's going to be filling in and what have you, but I don't know.
Big number 2 is Browning.
Bengals.
No, the quarterback, his name is Browning.
Right.
His name is Browning.
Yeah, that's gonna be something.
He's a big number 2. That's hilarious.
Yes. A big number 2. And so they put all that money in, and we see this a lot, guys. We've seen it with Dak Prescott. We see all these players over the years, unfortunately, that hold out, and then when they get this money, they go down. They don't even finish a full season, So that's going to be big for the Bengals. Like, seriously, playoff implications. I know it's week 3, but this is like, they already said 3 months, and that's the whole season. So another person moving over to the NFC East, Jaden freaking Daniels, y'all, ruled out in the game against the Raiders with a knee injury. They bring in Marcus Mariota up there. He continues to stay in the league some kind of way. The walkout Falcons quarterback who walked out after he was basically replaced for the starting position. I mean, this dude went on a whole tour, and the Falcons said they didn't even know anything about him being out. Like, he just stopped showing up. Then they took him on with the Eagles. I think he got a default ring by being on their roster when they won the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know that he was signed with the Commanders. He just continues to stay in the news. So he's gonna be starting on Sunday, guys.
Well, he played with the I'm about to say the Skins. He played with the Commanders last season, and he played the last couple of games. So he had like 400 total last 2 games. He had like 436 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Is that
so he did well?
Jaden Daniels for the playoffs?
I think yes. Yeah, he was. I think Jaden was injured. Yeah, I mean, or not injured, but it was something going on. But yes, you're right. They saved him. Right, exactly. And he played. He did well. So I don't know if that's indicative of teams not playing hard at the end of the game, end of the season, or if he actually just legitimately won them a game. But he did put some stats up. So I think, in his offense, and he's played with this coach before. So I think the familiarity, who they play in the Raiders. And I think they have a really good opportunity to win this game because I'm just not so. I was wrong, I guess, for the first 2 games. And then my biggest disappointment is the running back is Ashton Genty.
Yeah,
and he just doesn't look good. I mean, this is a guy that didn't run a 40, didn't do the jump, he didn't do the not the jump, and so his measurables weren't even put on display. Now he played in maybe a cupcake division too, to where he can put all those yards up. But when he got up to Penn State, they shut him down. And so, I mean, not to compare him to anybody, but he kind of reminds me of Trent Richardson with Cleveland.
Early for that one. Come on now.
Yeah, you gotta give him more time before you start.
I was like,
yes. I mean, I'm just saying. There's no pop, no nothing, no burst, no. I don't see anything when I watch him to say that. Okay, when LaDainian came out, he had a bad team, but LaDainian popped. When Barry Sanders came out, and both these guys were comparable in college with their numbers. Barry Sanders popped, and he wasn't on a good team either. And so I'm just saying, I'm concerned, but I hope it continues to improve and get better. I want to see the kids succeed, but it just doesn't look like it right now.
As far as like the Jaden Daniels injury goes and having like Marcus Mariota, like this is the perfect game that you want your backup quarterback in, right? Because it's the Raiders. There's no that like you should not struggle at all with the Raiders, but if you're going to, at least you do it with the backup quarterback. Washington should still get the win here. And I kind of agree with you, JTrain, where it's like I'm expecting more out of Ashton Genty. But you also have to remember the Raiders have 2 options. Brock Bowers, and Ashton Genty. And if all you got to do is take those guys out by stacking the box and just beating them up all day, they're not going to be able to be as effective as what you want them to be. Geno Smith, he got undressed against the LA Chargers. And that, like, I think the Chargers have the best defense in the NFL. So it might just be because of that case. Maybe he can do something against Washington. Washington's defense a little suspect, but Washington, if there's a time for your quarterback to miss, it's this specific game.
Yeah.
And speaking of you, I'm sorry, sis. The two options you just mentioned in Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers, there should be a third. The person that complains about not getting the ball and wanting to get traded is Jacoby Myers. Why aren't you getting out there balling and showing, okay, maybe you can be a trade option or you can be a legitimate option on your team? I don't want to hear about the complaining. I mean, they just got my man just retired. He had too much weight on him anyway, and Amari Cooper. So I mean, so you have an option. You have an opportunity to take right here and just ball out because you did it the past. And Geno Smith is not a bad guy to get you the ball. He's a very accurate quarterback now.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, Jacoby Myers dropped a couple of passes too in this game against the Chargers that could have really changed the momentum of the game. So it's not like he's blameless in all this. But if that's your number one receiver, man, you got problems. Like, it's not as bad as what they've got in Kansas City right now. Luckily, they're getting Xavier Worthy back, but it's a bad situation. Jacoby Myers is your number one guy as far as receivers go.
I don't think it's bad as Kansas. I think Kansas City's actually better situation than the Raiders are right now. But in
Xavier Worthy is playing Jenga with toothpicks.
Not worthy. He's unworthy.
Not worthy.
I mean, go ahead, Strilla.
I think that what you saw against the Chargers are probably one of the best teams in the AFC right now.
Yep. I was about
in the NFL.
They shut Vegas.
They've been electrocuting everybody.
Yeah, they're shutting teams down.
Mm-hmm.
And so what Mike is talking about, yeah, their defense is like one of the best in the league. So I don't hold that against
gigawatts.
I don't.
10,000.
All right,
we're gonna put you in the electric chair, brother.
I agree, Strilla. I agree, and I don't know if it's just the team has finally matured to that because we ain't been talking about the Chargers in a little while, but we've been talking about Justin Herbert for a little bit. Like, okay, this might be the year, and this is like that third year that we see the full picture because every NFL team is supposed to reach that peak level between 3 and 5 years. Panthers, what's wrong with you? And so there's that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
like Jim Harbaugh's got a lot to do with that, right? Like most Jim Harbaugh teams are defensive, run-first type teams, right? The Chargers are doing this without being able to establish a run. Like the run game for them has been horrendous, but you still have Justin Herbert. You got some great weapons in your receiving core. Like once this team can find balance, they are going to be terrifying because they can shut anybody's offense down. Let's not forget, like last year, I think it wasn't until week 12 that they gave up 27 points, which is mind-blowing in today's NFL. And I think it was only once or twice last season that they've got that high. Like their defense is phenomenal. And that's got to do a lot with like Jim Harbaugh, his style of coaching and stuff like that. But now you add they've got a great quarterback. At least we all think he's a great quarterback. They've got some weapons now. They look to be healthy. The second this team can start running the ball, they are going to be a major problem.
Yeah, the Chargers got Minter as a defensive coordinator, and obviously Jim is familiar with him because he coached on the Michigan Wolverines too. So, and he's a very good defensive coordinator, and he's got a lot of pieces. They got Khalil Mack is gonna. That's another injury that you probably were gonna mention there, Sonja. That he's gonna be out for some time with a broken arm, and that was terrible. That broken arm. I saw.
They brought somebody in from the Raiders actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
a former 2018 former first-round draft pick.
I don't think that defense is going to miss a step. I really don't.
I don't think so either.
I just don't. And the best addition to the Chargers was Keenan Allen. That shored that whole wide receiver core up. As long as he stays
healthy. Opened the door for Quentin Johnson. He has a resurgence. I thought he was going to be. He was on the verge of being a first-round bust.
Yep.
And now he is playing like a dog.
That's a good
You
point.
got to give everything starts at the top. You got to give credit to Jim Harbaugh.
Well,
He
Yeah.
definitely.
That's the best thing about having Keenan Allen on that team is like he's the veteran receiver there that can like set everybody straight. And you know he's got hands. He's not dropping anything if it gets near his catch radius. He's going to be able to get you first downs when you need first downs. He's not going to be able to take the top off the defense, but that's what you got Quentin Johnson for out there to be able to do that. And like for me, the Chargers they're such a balanced team. Everything about them is good. Their offense is good. Their defense is great. It's early to say this, but like I would not be surprised if we see that team in like the AFC Championship game. Like they're the team that can spoil the Ravens and the Bills' chances at getting to the Super Bowl.
I picked them to win their division for sure, and that's saying something because they're in the same division as the Chiefs.
Well, I picked Denver to win the division this year because I'm with you. Like I don't think the Chiefs are going to be it this year, but we'll see what happens this weekend with Denver and with the Chargers.
Yeah, because you got to look at it like this: the Chargers are one of the few teams that's had to play every one of their division opponents so far. They played Kansas City, beat them. They played the Raiders and beat them. Now they're going to be playing the Broncos at home. So, and the Broncos didn't look very good against Indianapolis.
Nope.
Especially against the run. They gave up 160 plus yards to Jonathan Taylor. I think they're going to give up 100 plus yards to both the running backs there now, which is the guy from Philadelphia. I mean, not Philadelphia. The Steelers.
The Steelers. What's his name?
Mr. Firecracker Eye.
Oh, Najee Harris.
Najee Harris. You knew, right? Najee Harris and Omari Hampton, the rookie. So I think they're going to ground and pound on that defense and win that game too.
And then I saw this like Pro Football Focus, like everything that Pro Football Focus does. Bo Nix right now is the lowest rated quarterback in Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, last year I had him on my fantasy, and this year nobody was picking him up, and I was like, let me see why. And it's funny, and it's also you guys actually segued into that. I gotta cover a couple of more injuries real quick because we got like 6 minutes left, and then I want to get a chance to do a preview of our next schedule. But yeah, B, go ahead. I saw you had a point.
Yeah, just real quick.
No, don't worry.
Guess who was the passing coordinator for Bo Nix last year?
I don't know.
John Morton, the offensive coordinator of the Lions.
And
now he's not doing good.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I'm just tired of going through this all the time with people with their narratives.
You know what? I'm going to do the same thing with you. You know who the offensive coordinator was for the Philadelphia Eagles last year? Kellen Moore, former offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. That's our Super Bowl, damn it.
All right. So let me get back to a couple more injuries real quick. Justin Fields is out with a concussion sustained in this last matchup. Tyrod Taylor, we get to see him back out there again for the Jets against the Buccaneers. Get ready for the Buccaneers to probably run the scoreboard up on that. I mean, Tyrod Taylor is just dangling in and out the field, literally dangling. So he's out for at least week 2. JJ McCarthy, now this one's big. After having an outstanding performance, y'all. I mean, I was 10 toes down for the Vikings. They looked really good. JJ making big moves, and y'all know he was out last year. So this is the first year we've actually gotten a chance to see him. This is like not even really his rookie year, but it is his rookie year because of last year, him missing time for being injured. Now, this only week 2. We're just getting ready to start week 3. He's out again. This time, an ankle injury. Bro, I don't know what's going to go down with the Vikings. Y'all stole Adam Thielen back from the Panthers to try to help McCarthy out while some of these folks was getting suspensions and whatnot. And now your head, I know, they call them the Vikings. Now he's out. Brock Purdy hurt himself in that New Orleans matchup. He's highly unlikely, but not necessarily completely out against the Cardinals matchup. Kyler Murray this week due to turf toe, and not just turf toe, a shoulder. I don't know, Brock, are we related? I have shoulder and toe issues too. I've had surgery. Like Mac Jones, we get a chance to see Mr. Mac and Cheese coming back in for week number 2. Other players that are out: AJ Terrell for the Falcons, star cornerback, is out with a hamstring injury. Let's just be clear. You know you're gonna get beat anyway. That's why you're out. You're just taking some extra time. AJ Christian Gonzalez for the Patriots. That's a big one. Young cornerback that has been really big for the Patriots. He's questionable with a hamstring injury against their matchup with the Steelers. Joey Porter is out with a hamstring injury. What are y'all doing? What is all these butt injuries? What's up, Pink Fanfare? Gave you a shout out the earlier part of the show. Thanks for joining us. Yes, ma'am. Keep pounding. Alex Highsmith, ankle injury from the Steelers. Kalijah, Cansey is out for the Bucks. The defensive tackle, pec injury. Trayvon Diggs from the Cowboys, foot injury, got lassoed. He's out. Jaden Reed for the Packers, wide receiver, foot and shoulder injury. Tucker Kraft from the Packers, the tight end, is questionable with a knee injury. And Xavier Worthy has been recovering from this shoulder injury, but he's questionable as to whether or not he will play on Sunday. Real briefly, I do want to plug in because we talked about the Chiefs, and then I want to talk about our scores. We literally got to do this really fast. The Kansas City Chiefs are hoping to get better after week 3. They may see the return of Xavier Worthy. We just talked about him. But the Chiefs offense has been struggling, y'all. I mean, they got Rashee Rice that's still suspended. They run around with free Rice shirts on type stuff, like free him from this suspension. And now, they don't know whether or not Worthy's coming back. And even if he is, how much fully recovered is he for the first game back? The Chiefs, last year everybody was talking about them having a dynasty. I like to say dynasty, like Game of Thrones. But I think like the talk we had with the Chargers, those days are behind us. The Chargers are ahead of them in this division right now, and that is very concerning. Sunday's games, Panthers and Falcons. Let me squeeze it in now. Panthers will win that, not because I'm a fan, but just because that's how it goes. We split with them. Shout out to you, Kevin. I know you are secretly watching. You wouldn't come on. You didn't have the guts to, because you're going to get, beat. And they released Young Wei Koo today. Young Wei Koo. Of course, the Falcons had been having kicker interviews. There was a list that came out of all these people they had interviewing last week. They didn't let him start. And so I knew then, the chicken was out. Sesame chicken, that was out for the door. Green Bay Packers versus Cleveland Browns, Texans, Jags, Bengals, Vikings, Steelers, Patriots. Let me talk about y'all's games. Rams, Eagles, Jets, Bucks, Colts, Titans, Vegas versus Commanders. 4:05 game, got the Saints and Seattle's. What's your thoughts on that, JTrain?
They're in Seattle. They have an opportunity to win, but I don't think they're going to. I picked the Seattle Seahawks to win that game.
Never supposed to pick against your team. I don't care if we lose every game. I'm still going to pick Panthers on my thing. But you're an honest fan. You're an honest fan.
Well, I'm not just a fan. I'm in some fantasy stuff, and pick 'em. So I gotta be honest about it.
Yeah, Pat. There you go, Pink. They're gonna get drugged. All right, let's move over to 4:25 game. Cowboys and Bears. We are expecting a lasso frenzy. I mean, that lasso's gonna be sparking. Y'all gonna roll them Bears up so good, Tip, right?
I mean, you just said it right now. Like, one of the big pieces on defense, Trayvon Diggs, might not be in this game, so it's going to be a little difficult for him defensively. But I feel like the Dallas Cowboys offense can put up points against anybody. I got the Cowboys in this one, but it's on my mind. I hate that I love this team, and I have zero faith in them.
I know. Sunday night game is Chiefs and Giants, and I will say, normally I would say the Chiefs would do this, but the way they've been looking, I'm not so sure. B, let's wrap up with you. You got the Monday night game against the Ravens, and that should be a thriller. 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, Lions and Ravens.
Yeah. I picked Baltimore in this because until they can beat the Ravens in Baltimore, I ain't got no faith in. I'm like Tip. I ain't got no faith in them when they play in M&T Stadium. They haven't won there.
I didn't hear their confidence at all.
I had more confidence in my team, I guess. But all right. Well, good luck to everybody's team. Everybody, thanks for the likes, love, shares. We appreciate you guys joining us every Friday Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. And Wednesday is Prim and Proper Sports at 9 as well. Tomorrow morning, the debate show with Strilla, JTrain, and Jack Hirsch at 8 a.m. And on Sunday morning from 8 to 10 is the Big Sports Show. Also, Tip has the Tipping Point Show, Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Tipping Point. Guys, thanks for the likes, love, share. And we got the 1-8 cheat, 3 toes. When you guys be popping on, B?
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays.
All right. You heard it first. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend and good luck to your team. Go Panthers.
Go Jaguars.
Go Saints. Who that?
Lions.